traffic stop took a turn. The family of 24-year-old Jermaine Jones says they are in the process of deciding when to take him off of life support.
The sheriff's office says one of its deputies tased Jones after he ran from the scene of a traffic stop Monday night.
Just in the last few hours, though, we've gotten a look at the incident report for this case. It's shedding a lot of light. News 12 Sloan O'Cone live in our newsroom to break down what we're learning.
In this report, deputies say they pulled over the SUV for a tinted cover over their license plate. Then several more investigators showed up and asked the driver, Jermaine's uncle, for consent to search the vehicle. At this point, the incident report states a canine deputy arrived and the drug dog smelt narcotics in the car. The three men are then removed from the car and put on the curb. The report says while one investigator was searching the area where Jermaine was sitting, Jermaine stood up and told his dad he was going to run. The investigator found a handgun and crack pipe under the rear passenger seat, and Jermaine took off running. Investigator Russell used his taser, hitting Jones in the back, which the report says caused him to fall on the ground. After a brief struggle, deputies took him into custody, but his dad says the incident report is leaving out some details, and his medical records show he has brain swelling, bruising, and a significant hemorrhage in multiple parts of his brain. Now, his family says they're selfishly holding on to his physical body until they're ready to say goodbye. They say it wasn't exactly a brief struggle after he was tased. Instead, they say he was beaten. Coming up at 11 o'clock, I'm working on a story looking at what exactly goes into one of these GBI investigations and asking Richmond County Sheriff's Office some more questions.
Tough decisions for that family. Sloan, thank you for the update there live in our newsroom. Much more news ahead after giving you a live look.
Yes, with some big changes in just about 10 minutes.
Dozens of employees at Savannah Riverside filing suit against the company for its vaccine mandate comes just a day before the deadline for workers to get their first dose if they want to keep their job. 79 employees filing that lawsuit. It is 46 pages long. It points out different concerns with the Pfizer, Moderna, and Johnson & Johnson vaccines. The workers say requiring vaccination is beyond legal bounds, and they want the court to ban SRS from firing anyone who refuses it. President Biden issuing an executive order requiring all federal employees to be fully vaccinated by November the 22nd. All federal contractors like workers at SRS have to be fully vaccinated by December the 8th. SRS set its own deadline of November 30th. We're told unvaccinated employees can no longer work in person or remotely after tomorrow, but they can return to work if fully vaccinated by November 30th. A few employees telling us they filed for religious exemption but were denied. In a statement yesterday, the company tells us it evaluates exceptions to the case by case, but in the denial letter to workers, the company says it did not evaluate the request and frequent testing would be a burden on the company. A constitutional rights attorney tells us it is legal for a company to deny religious exemptions if they decide the risk to the workplace outweighs the exemption. And we're just now hearing back from SRS in the last few minutes. In response to that lawsuit, they say all actions were taken to protect the health and safety of the workforce. SRS tells us 95% of its 5,500 employees are fully vaccinated. We ran those numbers. That means there are about 275 unvaccinated who risk losing their job.
A simple phone call is making counties across the area.
From the station that's on your side, this is News 12, NBC 26 at 11.
A family preparing to say goodbye to their son and take him off life support after deputies tased him earlier this week during a traffic stop. Jermaine Jones Jr. ran away during that traffic stop after deputies say they found a gun and a crack pipe in the SUV.
Now the GBI is investigating. Our Sloan O'Cone live in the studio. So, Sloan, what did you find out today?
The former GBI agent I spoke with says investigations like these are a long process. GBI's role is trying to answer the question why. They know when, where, what, but why did the suspect run? Why did the officer use the taser? And that's a difficult task. They're sifting through body cam video, interviewing all officers and witnesses. They say in intense situations like these, everyone's perception and story is different. The incident report is 3 paragraphs from investigator Christopher Brown's perspective on the scene. He describes the moments leading up to Jermaine Jones' arrest, with the traffic violation, a tinted case covering the license plate. Then, backup arrives with a canine. The canine, still outside of the car, smells drugs, so everyone gets out of the car. While searching, deputies find a gun and crack pipe in the car. At this point, Jermaine starts running, and the report says investigator Richard Russell deployed his taser, striking Jones in the back, causing him to fall on the ground. The report says he's taken into custody after a brief struggle. The former GBI agent says,
"It has to be what's called the totality of the circumstances. This report is definitely not complete. You just have a very limited 2 or 3 paragraphs of basically what happened, but there's a lot more to it than what's there on the incident report."
And his father, who was in the car, paints a different picture.
On him, beating him. They was on him beating him. I'm jumping up like, hey man, that's my child. What are y'all doing?
And that's not the family's only question. They want to know why he did not get medical attention sooner. His medical records show he has swelling, bruising, and significant hemorrhaging in multiple parts of his brain.
How he gonna fall that hard from a tase? I read there, I watched the whole thing.
It'll take a week or more to gather that information, and they just have to put it into a report, get it approved, and then send it on to the district attorney for their review. I mean, ultimately, that's where the decision is going to come from.
And we reached out to Richmond County Sheriff's Office for the body cam video, and if any of the officers involved are out on leave and did not hear back. This investigation is just beginning while Jermaine's family says they're getting ready to take him off life support and say goodbye.
Sloan, thank you. Opening statements in the murder trial for 3 former Washington County deputies got underway today. Rhett Scott, Michael Howell, Henry Copeland, accused of murdering Yuri Martin. Martin died in July 2017 after officers tased him at least 15 times. Today, an investigator spoke about the county's use of force policy and said only 1 taser should be used at a time. The defense argued the deputies did not know Martin and that he had a long history of mental illness and treatment. The trial as it continues in the morning, and we will be there. Right now, let's have a live look outside. This is the Calhoun Expressway as